Hey guys, it's Olivia. Welcome or welcome back. If you guys are new, welcome. If you guys are not new, welcome back. Either way, thanks for clicking on today's video. If you guys do not know, a couple weeks ago I went to South America for the first time. More specifically, I went to Peru. If you guys have not seen the prepping for Peru and my Peru video diary, then you wouldn't know that. Anyway, I revealed after 6 months of keeping a secret that I went to South America, and it was an incredible experience. Now, you got to race to the packing, like I said, in the prepping and everything like that went into the trip. And then you guys also saw all the footage from the trip that I took, whether it was on my camera or my iPhone. You guys have not seen the photos yet. So unfortunately, this is not going to include any of the photos that I took on my camera. This video is here to help make more sense of what went into my Peru trip, what you could expect if you go on one of the trips through the organization that I did, or if you are just going to Peru in the future and you want some good tips, tricks, and places to go. So I'm bringing that to you, the real and the raw facts of Peru and how I thought my 11 days there was. So let's get into it. If I'm looking down at my phone a lot, I apologize because that is where I am going to be looking at all my photos and going through and explaining, and then you guys will see them on the screen. So we gotta scroll because it's been a little bit, not really, but I had my birthday yesterday, so there's some photos from that. So we're gonna go to the very beginning, and excuse me if some of these photos are weird. Again, all these photos are just going to have my face in it or just be the scenery. So even though I did go with a group of people for safety reasons, for their confidentiality, I will not be sharing any of my other friends who I was with, but I promise I was not lonely. I thought I was going to be, but I made friends, guys. I made friends. Also, y'all know I only have the LED lights on if it's nighttime or if it's storming outside, and it's 3:44, so it's storming outside. Well, it's about to, like, it's so dark. Anyway, so I needed more light, and I hate turning on my overhead light, like, it messes with the vibe. Anyway, all right, for some reason my camera just went all the way back to 2016. That's like when I got my first phone. Not this phone, but my first phone. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna start going back to the day. So the day that I left for Peru was June 5th. Originally we were scheduled to leave for June 6th, but it's because of flights and timing change and like which would make the most direct route. We left on June 5th instead of leaving on the 6th. It really didn't make a big difference because we still stayed there for the same amount of time. It was going to be June 6th to the 16th, but instead it became from the 5th to the 15th, so same amount of time. If we left on the 6th, we'd have to go through Miami, and personally for me, I love Miami's airport, but I'm also the girl who loves flying and loves staying in the airport and would stay in the airport like all the time. Not literally, but you get the idea. So obviously that was not practical for the majority of the population or people who were going on the trip. So instead, on the 5th, so that's a Sunday, there was a direct flight from Orlando to Lima, the capital of Peru. We flew from Orlando to Peru at around like 5 o'clock on LATAM Airlines, and we got to Peru around 10 o'clock, and the immigration line took forever. Like, you wouldn't think it would. Like, I was personally like expecting it not to be like that crowded, but it was crowded. Like, people just kept coming, and like, just know that we were in this line from like 11:30 to like 1:30 in the morning, so it took a long time, and there's like still planes coming in, and like it wasn't like those planes, like some of them probably were delayed, but not all of them were delayed. There's no way all of them were delayed, because I'm like, so like flights are scheduled to come in at 1:30, which I get, but at the same time I'm just like, there's a lot of international flights that are coming, but it is one of the busiest airports in South America. And then we went and stayed in a Hotel Limica, like this hotel a couple, like 10 minutes away from the airport, 10-15 minutes away from the airport, just for one night. And the rooming situation was pretty much like 2 people in every room, and then sometimes it was more, but they were like big rooms, like you weren't sharing a bed. So that's primary how it was, and we stayed there for one night, and then the next morning we woke up and we went back to Lima International Airport, and we flew to Cusco. And Cusco is I'm not gonna say smaller city, even though that's what I've been using because Lima is the capital, but I would say it's a pretty much densely populated city. So we went and we flew there again on LATAM Airlines. It was about like an hour and a half flight. It felt really short though for me, but then again, I live life on the plane. Oh my god, on the way down though, I was in the middle seat and I was struggling, but it's fine, we made it. Immediately when we got there, we didn't go down to like the downtown area, the city center, whatever you would call it, like the heart of the city. We didn't go to the heart of the city. No, we went to like the outskirts of it. So technically we weren't really in Cusco until like the last 2 days that we were in Cusco. So we spent about, I think, 5 days in total there. So the first 3 days we went closer. It's like a city called like Ollantaytambo. I'm probably not saying that right, but it's fine. But we went to that city, and that's where we did most of our hikes. If you guys don't really know, that is kind of where like the area that Machu Picchu is located in. So of course you gotta go to Machu Picchu. So we did do Machu Picchu one day. We went to this really cool veggie restaurant. It was a vegetarian restaurant, and the reason that we went there is because it's supposed to get you used to and acclimated to the altitude, because it's a very different altitude change from Florida to Peru. So we went there, and it was very good, and we had like this cacao, we had cacao tea. It literally looked like pee. I'm sorry, that's really mean, but it really did, and it did not taste good either. But Mom, I sent her a picture of it, and she's like, drink it all, Olivia, and get more of it and drink it all, because she's like, I get like sometimes like really bad altitude and like motion sickness. So she was like, you gotta drink it all, Olivia, and I was like, fine. So I was just like gulping it down. And then my friend, actually, when we went to like a market, she bought like these candies that were made from the cacao leaf, and I had some of those, which helped. So I never really, y'all saw that. I know y'all saw that. So I never really got altitude sickness, which was good. Okay, so after we ate there, we were driving again like to like the smaller city, and we stopped at this like overlook over like the Scared Valley in the Andes, and it was so incredibly pretty, and the photos that I got on my camera are absolutely gorgeous. I can't show them to you guys for my own personal matter, but absolutely gorgeous. So I will insert the photos I have on my phone, obviously, but it was so much fun, and I wish I could show you the ones of my friends, because I took those on my camera, now I'd show those, but again, confidentiality. The first night we had alpaca steaks. We gotta try alpaca steak. That we were in that city, and it tastes like chewy steak. You can hear me saying it in the video, but it really did taste like chewy steak. Would I eat that on the daily? No, but it wasn't bad, so it was okay. Right, like I'm already at 7 minutes here, so let me hurry this up. Okay, so next day we woke up and we went to this mountain, like the base of it, and we hiked up. Our tour guide told us it was an 1.5 hour hike up, an 1.5 hour hike down. So like a 3.5 hour hike in total. So we're like, okay, cool, we got that. And I was like, fine, I'll be fine. Like, you know, you're going up a mountain, right? So you're walking a lot, you might be running, you get the idea. So I was like, you know what, I did gymnastics for 14 years of my life. I constantly work out. Even when I was in the gym, I was still working out on the weekends. I had a trainer, I was doing stuff, like I was always still working out. I still work out now, right? It literally had not been that long since I quit. It was like literally like 2 weeks. At this point it's like 5 weeks, but who cares? I do. So yeah, I was like, we got this, like I got this, like I'll be fine, like it's not that big of a deal, like we're gonna hike up this mountain, just power through it, right? Wrong. Total opposite. It was cold when we were there. Like it was cold when we got to the base of the mountain, so everyone had like their big jackets with them, like their big puffy jackets. So I had like my big white Nautica jacket. If you guys have never seen me wear it, I'll insert a picture of me wearing it right here. That's what it's supposed to look like, and that's how thick it is, right? 'Cause you can't really see it in any videos or anything. But then literally not even 2 minutes in, everyone rips them off, and like everyone's like bent over trying to like catch their breath, because like no kidding, the air was so thin, like so thin. And I watched this girl on TikTok the other day. She said that she summited Mount Everest, which obviously is an incredible achievement, but I was like, I could probably do that. I could not make it up that that mountain was so hard. I'm like, how can you do that with all that gear that you're climbing up with for Everest? Like, that just makes me seem like that just puts everything to more like a superhuman thing. And even when we were climbing this mountain, when we were passing, there was like this mom carrying up her baby, like in one of, it's not like the front holder, and it's not like the back holder either. It's like a shawl, but she had the baby like wrapped in it, like a wrap kind of, except it wasn't like attached to her. It was kind of just like this, but she was just like powering through that, and she started after us, and she passed us, and she got to the destination before us. And I was just like, I know she does it like probably like a lot, but I'm like, you are a super baddie woman. Like this girl was like, she was amazing. So like shout out to all those people who have to do that like on the daily, because like you guys really do deserve like a next level of recognition. So yeah, we climbed that mountain. Oh, the hike, because I never finished that. It turned into a 7-hour hike. Now I realized I was in the back of the pack, but at the same time, like, we went from 3.5 hours round trip to 7 hours round trip, like but it was really fun, and we made it to this waterfall, which was honestly, if I had to do it again, not worth the hike, but it was really pretty still. So that's what happens there. And then the next day we went to Machu Picchu. So to get to Machu Picchu we had to take a train, and it was about like a hour 40-minute train, so it actually was longer than I was expecting, but not by much. I thought it was gonna be like an hour and a half, so I was like, oh, okay. That was like kind of where I guessed. Machu Picchu was absolutely amazing, and now I can say I've been to one of the 7 wonders of the world, which is kind of cool. So Machu Picchu was absolutely amazing. The views were absolutely amazing. Like, it's something that, like, even when we went on the hike and stuff, we saw incredible views, but like nothing compared to what that was like. Like, it was so pretty. And it was such a clear day that we were there too, and I took so many photos, and it was so, like, it was so cool. Like, that was probably like my second highlight of the trip. Like, it was amazing. So after we did Machu Picchu, we came down and we went to this little, we went to like a textile market. I was like, what is it called? We went to a textile market, and that was really cool. If you guys don't know what textiles is, it's kind of like how like they make like clothes and like blankets and pillowcases and stuff like that, right? So we went to that and we got to buy some stuff, but they also showed us the process of how to do it. And it was like, it wasn't like it's not a tourist spot, it's not a tourist thing. Like, a lot of stuff that we did were not tourist spots, you know. Machu Picchu was really the only one that we did that was considered a tourist spot, you know. So, and one other thing, but we did that, and we got to watch them make it, and we also made like lipstick, and we got to play with it, and we got to see the process and the guinea pigs, and we got to feel the difference between sheep and alpaca. And that was probably one of my favorite parts also, because like that is like so cool, and that's not something that's just like a lot of stuff that we did, which I loved about going on this trip, is that we did stuff that you wouldn't normally do if you went with your family, or if you went like solo or something like that, you know. And that's what I really wanted from this trip, because I was like, if we're gonna do like what every other tourist does, then I could just come with my family. We went rock climbing one day. We went rock climbing before the textiles, and I don't have any photos of that, so that's why I didn't mention it. I forgot. But that was really fun, and it was literally like we were scaling the side of a mountain. Like, the mountain was like that high, and we were like scaling it like on the side. But it was so much fun. And we ziplined. We had like 6 different zip lines and everything, so everything was so much fun. But that was definitely my scariest moment. Like, I was like freaking out the entire time. I'm like, just keep going, Liv. And the thing is, it wasn't like an indoor place, or like even more like it was like structured, but it wasn't structured, right? So I was like thinking, and I always wanted to do Amazing Race, right? So I kept relating back everything to Amazing Race. So I was like, I would have to discover an Amazing Race. But I also kept thinking, like, if you want to go down really badly, like, I would have to go back down. So I was like, okay, like, you guys just keep going up. You gotta keep going up. And I was like, But anyway, so that happened. Then after the textiles and the rock climbing, we drove back to the main city center, heart of Cusco, to the town. And we ate dinner there, and we saw the city at night, which is really cool. And then the next day we woke up. Oh, this was my favorite hotel, by the way. The next day we woke up and we went to a chocolate factory. Honestly, it was fun, but it wasn't really that impressive, because I've been to like 3 chocolate factories before like this, and they've kind of all showed me the same thing, which I understand because it's old chocolate. Like, chocolate is made in one structured way, but it wasn't really different than the other one, so it wasn't really like a unique thing for me. But I know like some of my friends had it, and so yeah. Then after that we went and did some more night photography of the city, and I loved it. Again, I wish I could show you guys my amazing photo that I got on my camera, because it's like literally amazing. But I'm not going to. But I loved that. Like, that was one of my favorite parts, was that night photography. Probably my favorite part. And then the next morning, we woke up and we went back to the airport in Cusco and we flew to the Amazon, which is absolutely, like, baffling to say again. Because, like, when I was thinking about it, then I was like, oh, we're just going to the Amazon, like, yeah. But, like, thinking about it, like, I went to the Amazon. Like, I stepped foot in the Amazon. I slept in the Amazon for 3 nights. Like, I'm basically, like, call me a survivor or what. But, like, y'all. Like, that is, like, again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is, like, something that, like, if you just, like, went with your family or by yourself, you couldn't do. Like, yeah, sure, like, we landed in an actual town. Like, it was not an actual, like, commercial flight, like an A320 or whatever it was. I think it might have been a 21. But, we landed, like, in the actual airport and everything. It wasn't big, but we did. Like I said, it was a big plane. It wasn't, like, a turbo top or anything. And, like, we didn't stay in the city. By city, I mean, like, where, like, the locals live. We went to the middle of nowhere, and I absolutely loved it. So it was, like, a jungle lodge, and we had to take, like, a 3-hour boat ride to get there, and a bus ride, and everything. I also did not have my motion sickness post with me, so I was just, like, praying on that bus ride, but we made it. And we spent 3 nights there, and we went on a bunch of night crawls, looking for different animals and stuff, and everyone's like, I see reflecting eyes! And I'm thinking, jaguar, panther, it's gonna come eat me. Like, because, you know, I'm not too good in nature at night, or in any setting at night. Like, I don't do good with that. And then we went on daytime walks too, and that was really fun. We saw anacondas, we saw giant spiders, we saw macaws, like a bunch of macaws. It was so cool. And we saw a bunch of, like, caiman alligators, and we saw a bunch of capybaras, which is so cool. And then butterflies, and we went to a beach. By beach, I mean, like, literally, like, a beach, not like a Florida beach or anything. And people were, like, diving in that water, and me and my friend were like, no way. But it was so much fun, like, playing in the sand and everything and taking pictures of it all. And we went, like, exploring, like, every day, like, deeper and deeper into the forest, and it was absolutely so much fun. I did get stung by a hornet, though. I did get stung by a hornet when we were playing soccer one day. So that was eventful, but it was so much fun. And then after we left Amazon, we flew back to Lima, which is the capital of Peru, which we were leaving out of the next morning, and we got pizza. Because that night was kind of like they ordered pizza for everybody, and then, like, if you wanted more food, you could just, like, DoorDash more food because we're, like, in the city center. So after we had, like, our fair share of pizza, we just DoorDash McFlurries. My friend DoorDash McFlurries, and then we all paid him back, which was absolutely amazing. And then the next morning, we, like, just the people that we met on this trip and everything was absolutely amazing. Like, the locals, like, the culture, the cuisine, like, everything. Oh my god, they have the best rice, by the way. Everything that happened on this trip was so much fun, and I'm so grateful that I was able to go and, like, for the opportunity. So definitely would recommend going to Peru. And the tourist traps are good, and I love doing tourist traps, but at the same time I loved going on this trip because I wanted something deeper than what a tourist trap would give you, you know. And that's, like, how I want to do the world, you know. There's Kara and Nate on YouTube. They kind of do both sides of it, and I love that, and that's kind of what I want to do for my future travels for myself. So yeah, overall, loves Peru. We made it back safely on Wednesday, June 15th, via LATAM Airlines again, and around, like, 4 o'clock, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for watching all my Peru vlogs. This is the end of it, and I will see you guys next week for another video.